Heureux. N'importe quoi. Alors le live de tout à l'heure a pas planté. Peut-être que le problème est réglé. Je sais pas trop d'où ça venait, mais c'est la faute à Ulysse, c'est ça. Alors là, le jeu me propose une intégration Twitch. Alors ça dit qu'avec la... Coucou Mana. Un RPG incroyable dans son système de jeu. Ouais, ce qui paraît, il est assez fourni. Donc l'intégration de Twitch, les streamers peuvent proposer un sondage à leurs spectateurs pour leur permettre d'influer sur le déroulement de la partie. Les spectateurs peuvent ainsi voter pour les options de dialogue de leur choix et attribuer des bonus ou des malus temporaires aux attributs du streamer. Ils ont également accès à la fiche du personnage et au journal du streamer quand ils le souhaitent. C'est pas... quel jeu? Dark Alliance 3 qui faisait ça ou... qui propose ça? Du coup, bah, je vais le mettre. Ah, Twitch token, mais je sais pas comment je vois ça moi. Alors, voilà. Ah d'accord, Mana. Bon bah c'est pas grave. Ouais, donc je vais pas mettre le truc de Twitch là parce que... Je sais pas le Twitch token, je sais pas ce que c'est. Donc je verrai ça plus tard. Donc, nouvelle partie, oui. Ah oui, bah du coup il faut que je... Peut-être que je me mette en live. Voilà. Ah, oui. Ploup. Créez votre personnage. Ah, alors, philosophe, extrêmement intelligent mais pas doué pour les interactions sociales, possède une culture générale étendue et des idées originales. Sensible, fin psychologue et monstre de charisme, doté d'une personnalité instable qui risque de le mener à la folie. Physique, porté sur les prouesses physiques, ce personnage se sert de son corps pour interagir avec son environnement, efficace mais bête comme ses pieds. Je sais pas comment se prête le jeu au live, ben on va voir. De toute façon c'est une découverte. Hein. Et si je fais créer mon propre personnage... On va baisser ça. Je vais tout mettre dans l'intelligence, moi. Enfin, dans le côté on parlote, et puis je vais pas faire un type bourrin. Ouais, ouais, mais j'aimerais bien qu'on voit ensemble quand même ce que ça donne. Ouais, parce que j'ai... Ouais, je pense que ça peut être pas mal. Ouh là là. Alors là, on tombe dans les trucs. Choisir un talent. Votre talent clé, talent sélectionné, gagne un bonus de 1 de plus 1. De plus, le seuil d'apprentissage de chaque talent du même type augmente de plus 1. Logique, encyclopédie, rhétorique. On peut savoir ce que ça fait? Oui. Maîtrisard de la persuasion. Prononcer des diatribes empreintes de... Oui, ça c'est bien ça. Incarner un personnage, menter et repérer les mensonges. Soyez créatif et décelez l'art dans le monde qui vous entoure. Reconstituez la scène du crime et faites appel aux lois de la physique. Oh là là. Ouais, j'imagine que la rejouabilité là est assez importante. Puisez dans votre savoir et devenez le roi d'anecdotes. Armé de votre force intellectuelle, décryptez le monde environnant. Ça peut être pas mal. Tenez le cap et gardez votre morale au beau fixe. Bon déjà, ouais. Vous agissez à l'instinct et rêvez tout éveillé. Identifiez-vous aux autres et sollicitez vos neurones miroirs. Imposez le respect, affirmez-vous. Faites qu'un avec le poste 41. Charmez les hommes comme les femmes, amusez-vous à tirer les ficelles. Où ça? Où ça? Quelque chose là-dedans me paraît pas mal. Est-ce qu'on va essayer? On va essayer ça peut être marrant. Ouais, ouais. Bah, les jeux compliqués comme ça, vaut mieux que ce soit traduit quand même, parce que des fois tu peux rater des trucs. Ce font le miroir que vivent les furies, le bien clair, d'accord.
There is nothing, only warm primordial blackness. You're conscious ferments in it, no larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever, baby. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it. Yes, it is.
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies
C'est
hidden
son
in
cerveau qui
your
lui parle.
angle. Soaking in some lurid acidic sauce, it's bloated and shameful, a ball of meat surrounding you. This is a terrible line of questioning, and it will only lead to more awareness of
Ex-love, ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you've suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Stay. Sail with me through the abyss of pelagic zone. All right. Now nothing town to fuck all
Rien
but.
vive.
Great choice, Elder One. It has always been like this, and it always will.
Bon là pour l'instant, je comprends pas ce que je fais.
Do you really?
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense yourself marinating? Poured so much on yourself, got a bit carried away, did we, Chef?
Fear and apprehension. You should ask what's out there first.
La peur et l'imposture, je vais commencer par demander ce qu'il attend.
There's this giant ball there. And evil apes. And the evil apes are juking it out on the ball. You're one of them. It's basically all just evil apes juking it out on a giant ball. You can't even make out it's a ball when you're joking it out. It's that large. Infinitesimally small. Vying for resources is just a stupid expression you picked up somewhere. The part of the presentation you want to take home with you is this. You have to beat the other evil apes in the face. Or you... Yes.
Oh, j'ai pas
it
laissé parler.
is. And you drowned in that sadness a long time ago. You lost.
Alors j'ai mis aussi le mode streamer, donc du coup... Il est tout nu? Ah non. Du coup, il y a certaines musiques qui seront remplacées, qui étaient censées être copyrightées, donc... Bah, tu vas peut-être t'habiller, mon petit bonhomme. Est-ce que ma caméra... Oui, ma caméra bloque. Où est-ce que je peux la mettre? On va essayer de la mettre en haut. Sauf que là, il y a les... Alors, il y a le navigateur, je vais le mettre là. Non, je vais peut-être pas le mettre du tout parce que ça va bouffer, je pense, tout le truc. Il est aussi clair qu'Amika. Ouais. Ce magnum de Commodore rouge est vide. On dirait que quelqu'un a arraché la cassette avec la chanson passée sur le magnéto lecteur. Il fonctionne mais il est vide.
This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your friend and wants to reattach itself to your neck so that you may continue your adventures together in this strange world.
Ouais, donc en fait, c'est comme un jeu de rôle. Les jeux avec les dés, comme. D'accord. J'ai jamais joué à ça d'ailleurs.
You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. Warning, warning, the necktie is no longer contained.
Un peu, ouais. C'est vrai qu'ils ont évolué ces livres. Avant, c'était tu choisis un truc puis tu vas à telle page. Maintenant, ils compliquent un petit peu les choses. Enfin, ils compliquent. Ils rajoutent un peu de challenge avec l'idée aussi. Hop, continue.
What you have in your hand is a fantastically colorful tie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose.
Attends, j'ai mon pantalon d'abord. Mets ton pantalon. Voilà. Oui, je préfère. Ils enrichissent, oui, c'est ça. Une bouteille dans la baignoire. Oh bah dis donc. Pas un truc là. Tu veux pas couper l'eau?
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Hot water sprays from the base and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the outline of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror.
En fait, celui qui parle, c'est le maître du jeu.
Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? Too late. You clearly have rigor mortis on your face. Or wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why?
Peu importe qu'on réussisse ou non une action, l'aventure continue toujours et tout s'adapte. Parfois, il y a plus des bénéfices de rater des choses.
Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face, and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? There might have been, 10 years ago. It's little more than a cadaverous spasm now.
On va essayer.
Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now.
Voilà, ça je suis habillée. Je pourrais pas mettre un truc là-dedans? Non, tu veux pas. Okay.
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants. It says, whirling in rags, on the aluminium keyring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. It should open the door.
Oh non, attends, tes chaussures d'abord. Enfin, ta chaussure. Est-ce qu'on a tout? On a les chaussures. Des gants, des lunettes, un chapeau. Ok. Mars de l'année 51, d'accord. Est-ce qu'il y a des choses ici?
Hello, officer.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips.
No.
There's only one solution to this. You're a businessman.
Because you're a police officer, sir. I am, yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this time. You've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less. I couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking. Don't be so harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer.
A glib remark. Don't let it stand. Assert yourself.
A fondness for contradictory statements.
I'm sorry. I was being glib. I'm sure you're a great cop. Of course. Be careful, officer. They don't like the police around here.
She looks back at you, a light glinting off her eyes.
Goodbye.
Prends le mégot. Il n'y a pas de combat dans le jeu, mais il faut être prudent quand même. Bon. Donc on peut mourir si on prend une mauvaise décision, c'est ça? Putain, il y a vraiment une sale tronche. Hein. Le moral et la santé. Pour connaître davantage le sujet, avant que la conversation ne passe à autre chose, sélectionnez une option de dialogue débutant par passe 8 ou encore une seconde. Policier amnésique qui se réveille dans une chambre d'hôtel après une soirée bien arrosée avec son collègue Kim Kutsuragi. Il va devoir élucider un meurtre qui a été perpétré à Rivachol, dans le quartier de Martinez.
You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul. Of course, at this point, precise measurements of your soul can only be performed from the outside. It needs to be heard, through a PA system, by other people. You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. You will wreak havoc with it. Don't worry.
Oh, vu son état, je suis pas sûre que chanter quelque chose de joyeux, c'est vraiment...
No, no.
Enfin, on va
Don't
essayer.
sing the happy song. It's stupid. Sing the sad song. It's profound. You have to find something tragic to sing first, though.
Donc, trouver une chanson. Récupérer une chanson triste sur bande. Trouver une bande tragique puis la jouer sur un magnétophore pour en mémoriser les paroles. Ensuite, demandez au patron du café si vous pouvez chanter. Vaut faire le soir, il y a plus de monde au bar.
A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you approach, he gives you a sideways glance, then looks down again. That was disdain in his eyes. Even now he's purposely ignoring you. A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. One of its wings broken. The man is trying to mend it. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it, most likely on a wall. Something about it makes you feel bitter.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead.
Oh no, you're a hero. A real hero cop.
Could the massive property damage upstairs have anything to do with this?
Am I? Or did you ride in, take the body down, solve the murder, and not trash my hostel room? No, you see, actually, you didn't. You haven't done anything even remotely useful since you got here. No, I haven't seen you around. I'm not always here.
C'est vous le barman, ça a l'air évident. On va poser la question quand même.
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager.
C'est quoi la
I have
différence?
3 cafeterias to manage. 3. Sylvie tends the bar here, not me. I'm only standing in.
Elle est où?
She just, you know.
Non, je sais pas.
There's something there, and it's not good. That's all you know for now.
Ça, c'est le menu. Seul moyen dit encore libre. D'accord. Une fontaine à eau. J'ai pas envie de sortir. Porte est verrouillée. Cuisine réservée au personnel.
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
Mais je le fais attendre si je veux en fait. Bah ouais, ça c'est un flipper apparemment. Bon, je sais pas, il y a 2 manettes là, mais... Alors oui, on voit les petits machins qui font rebondir la balle, mais... Ok.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. As you approach, he narrows his eyes and extends his hand in greeting. If an assault were launched on this building right now, if the windows came crashing down and the whole world descended upon you, this man would hurl himself in death's way to save you. You are sure of this, but why?
Hello,
On dit poli, on
I'm Kim
dit bonjour.
Kisoragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he's waiting for your name. This is your chance to come up with a really good name for yourself. Get creative. Conceptualize. Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau.
You instinctively run your hand over the multi-patterned silk of your tie. Its slickness gives you comfort, and reassurance.
Don't worry! Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau is one classy name for one classy cop.
Yes, well. It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here?
Oui.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right?
Il a pas un accent un petit peu français, lui?
It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews?
Non, bah non. Non. Non, je l'ai pas fait.
Okay. We'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree?
Avez-vous retiré le cadavre de l'arbre? Ah, quel cadavre?
Mm-hmm. Sure. But did you take it down from the tree? So, the body is still in the tree.
Bah, j'imagine que oui.
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice. It is obvious he would have preferred for the body to no longer be in the tree.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight.
Ouh, ouais.
We should go there as
Il doit
soon as
sentir
we are
bon.
done talking to the owner. I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through worse. Much worse. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our number 1 concern.
Bon, on y va.
After you, officer.
Donc, faut parler...
If you're about to embark on an investigation, shouldn't you have a badge?
Ouais, peut-être.
You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I advise you to try to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down should still take precedence.
Sauf que pour trouver mon badge, il faut que je retrouve mon nom, je pense. Donc, pas mal de choses à faire. Interroger Garth. Inspecter le corps dans l'arrière-cour. Signaler la perte de l'insigne. Donc on va commencer par lui.
The man with the unimpressive beard notices you approaching. He drops the ledger he was holding and turns to the lieutenant.
Mr. Garth, right? You run this place.
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41...
Fantastic.
Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was you who placed the call, yes?
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only temporarily taking over her duties.
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Donc il regarde derrière une pile de sous-verre pour débusquer un morceau de papier qui tombe au lieutenant.
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many cafeterias I manage.
3 cafés, tu as dit.
But you still know your way around, yes?
Pas beaucoup,
In
beaucoup.
case we need directions.
Question.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to start working here again, if that's what you think.
I didn't imply that. Detective. I have everything. You?
Yes, yes, he means, do you have questions for me, like a police officer would?
Ouh, il m'énerve. Hein. Pourquoi elle est partie la
She went
Sylvie?
away because none of your business. Oh my god, what is your obsession with this Sylvie person? Get over it.
Je suis le slip. La traduction.
Who's obsessed with this Sylvie person? Certainly sounds like it.
Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there. That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then, to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. You can get to the courtyard through there. No need for the keys. The hole is big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry to fit through.
Does he want you to feel guilty of making that hole? It's implied in his voice.
I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job. What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him.
Ouais, c'est ce qu'ils disent tous.
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real.
No one is saying the multi-pattern necktie you found tied to the ceiling fan can talk. No one. It must be merely imagination. But
Let's bail! Time to push the eject button! Sounds like a responsibility! You don't like those!
C'est quoi cette connerie?
no, don't listen to him. It's madness. Just talk.
Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe to assume he means you owe him some money.
Wow, you're a genius. Yes, that's right. Money. You owe this establishment 130 real.
Ah oui, ben je paierai plus tard. Hein?
Who does that clown think he is? Arrest him!
Qu'est-ce que je dois... Mais il vient de te dire 130. Hmm.
Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilated. The hole in the window was the first thing I saw when I came to work. So don't try to tell me you didn't. That will be 40 real in damages. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol. That's 60 plus 40 plus 30 equals 130 real. And yes, real is still money.
Cravate, c'est le meilleur perso du jeu, tout à fait.
No one is saying that! No one is saying that Ty can talk! That would be ludicrous! It's just that you should arrest him! It would be wiser! He wants to take your money!
Non, mais la cravate, elle est marrante.
The lieutenant looks at you tugging on your garish tie. He puts his hand on your shoulder.
If you don't have the money, it's okay. None of us are in this for the wages.
That's cop 4. I haven't offered to pay because I don't have any money either.
You can't arrest me. I haven't done anything.
Autorité. Tu vas te calmer, je suis
From the
flic.
bottom
Je
of
paye
your
pas.
blue soul, a term emerges.
Entrave un dépositaire de la paix vous empêcher d'enquêter sur un meurtre.
But it's not inane. You owe me money.
Oui, mais pas
It is
maintenant.
cruel of you. A man has been killed. File a request for compensation with Station 41. We need to work now.
Okay, you'll only have to pay for the window and the drinks. That's 70. I'll get the rest from your stupid station.
Bon, vu la mûche qui s'est pris, à mon avis, il a quand même bien bu ici, donc
Don't
faut être
thank
poli.
me. You still owe me 70. If you don't have it by tonight, I'm not letting you back up there.
That's enough now, sir. Good day.
Payez les dégâts. Quelqu'un a signalé la pendaison à la MCR des colonnes de qui il s'agit, permettant peut-être de clarifier de nouveaux éléments d'enquête. Vous savez par où commencer, mais n'importe qui aurait pu appeler. Demandez de l'argent aux gens et faites attention à vos dépenses. Si vous n'êtes pas certain de la somme ou de la garde, demandez-lui. Je dois 170 maintenant, c'est ça?
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere. You don't really know, do you? A vague, blackened image doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money.
Ah, est-ce qu'on peut essayer de retrouver où je vis? Bah, avec un nom, ça serait mieux.
You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street or an apartment will appear.
C'est quoi ça? Retour solitaire à la maison, bonus d'interrogation temporaire. La mémoire factuelle revient, durée de l'interrogation 6 heures. Rembobinez, remontez vos pas avinés jusqu'à chez vous, sautez par-dessus le pont levé du canal au sud-ouest, tombez, relevez-vous, quittez la salle d'ici 20 minutes, traînez vos pieds à travers les jardins en effrayant. Les jeunes enfants passaient sous la voie rapide, la 881, jusqu'à atteindre le domaine éminent Jamrock Nord. Les rues sont gelées à cette époque de l'année, de vraies patinoires, descendez la grande rue jusqu'à Perdition, vous verrez une rue adjacente avec vos empreintes dans la boue. Je sais pas ce qui... Et... Alors... Ah, d'accord, ok, j'ai compris. Alors, remontez vos pas avinés jusqu'à chez vous. Alors, sautez par-dessus le pont levé du canal. Non, c'est pas ça. Au sud-ouest. Oui, c'est pas ça, non? Je crois que j'ai pas compris ce qu'il faut faire. Je pensais qu'il fallait faire le truc dans l'ordre, mais... Ou je fais juste arrêter en fait, il n'y a rien d'autre à faire. Non, 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 attends. Tu vois, il veut pas me... Il veut rien faire d'autre. Là, il veut pas le déverrouiller. Ah, mais ça c'est peut-être ces trucs-là, là. Mais je sais pas ce qu'il faut faire. Le problème, la solution. Ouais. Double clic, ça marche pas. Je ne sais pas quoi faire. Est-ce qu'il y a autre chose ou je vais juste arrêter? Ouais. D'accord, ouais, ça doit être des trucs en plus. Je peux m'arrêter, faire ça, et puis quand j'ai des points en plus, je sais pas. Attends, ça fait quoi? Encyclopédie plus 1. Puisez dans votre savoir et devenez le roi de l'anecdote. Ouais. Bon. Là, on peut pas sortir. Attends, c'est quoi ça? Douron, une centrifuge électrique, moyen de la cuisine. Quelqu'un travaille.
Yes?
No response. He just arches his brow.
Non, mais vaut mieux tout lui
Have
dire.
you
parce que-
tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
J'aurais me concentrer. Je devrais voir ça, j'ai oublié. Même les informations publiques concernant ces organisations.
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation.
D'accord.
Focus on other people's troubles, not your own. That is a relief.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
What do you want to know?
Pourquoi t'arrêtes sur la même affaire sur une de deux postes différents?
I'm
C'est une bonne
afraid
question.
you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
J'ai un instant sa formulation des pions dans un concours pour savoir qui a le plus gros.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
You
C'est-à-dire.
don't know? I assumed you were in on it. Better still than an imbecilic cop-off. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit.
Bah, je sais qu'il y a quelqu'un suspendu à un arbre depuis 7 jours.
Do you want me to brief you?
Oui.
3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. A security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
C'est quoi la MCR
That's
déjà?
us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city. That's right. No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Bah, ouais, ouais. Pourquoi? Pourquoi?
I can assure nothing like that will happen. Do you know why not? Good, yes. Because it's not part of reality.
En même temps, j'ai une cravate qui parle, alors si tu veux la réalité.
So desperately mundane. You need to funk this case up. There's something the lieutenant isn't seeing. The universe is too irrational, too morally complex. You should convince him.
Good.
Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person with a very small soul. One you should be ashamed of. It's no wonder the soft one doesn't want it back. It was right to abandon you.
Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
Faut porter des lunettes. Non, tu crois?
What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lieutenant's
pas drôle, hein?
conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary.
Oui, il est très terre à terre.
The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school. His concerns are material and extrinsic. But this isn't an old school case.
So what? That makes you the new school? God spare us. For real detective work, nothing beats a good notebook by your side.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few
Le
pages.
moral en prend un coup, mais ouais.
That's where his conversations with himself take place. We all have our different mediums. His is written.
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting. You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Revacholier.
He's glad to have shut down your question.
That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome.
Mais
You
non, mais
could
non.
use a good, normal peer yourself.
No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. You're pretty sure it has something to do with the lieutenant's eyebrow.
Oui, surtout qu'il en a bossé qu'un. Généralement, on en enlève un, mais lui, il en
The
baisse un.
eyebrow is exercising psionic control over you.
Something the matter, detective?
This guy's got authority off the charts. With just the flick of his eyebrow, he's able to make you his thrall. Nothing. You better hope he doesn't abuse his authority. There's a lot of it. If the lieutenant were an Evil man. Who knows what sort of havoc he could wreak? Fortunately, he is a committed officer of the RCM. He'll only use his powers for the good of the investigation. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
Good. Let's change the subject. Excuse me? You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide.
Une drôle de démarche, c'est-à-dire.
I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, we call it the Jamrock Shuffle. Officers from Jamrock's 41st Precinct tend to move a bit erratically. They say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough. Prioritizes containers. I don't know. Containers contain, I guess. I'm making assumptions. We should move on.
Passing along frivolous interdepartmental stereotypes is not usually his oeuvre. He regrets bringing it up.
Non, mais c'est bon. Je t'en veux pas. Bon, faut qu'on parte. Tiens, madame, t'as pas vu des trucs? On lui a pas parlé à elle.
Hello again, sweetie. I see you've met up with your colleague.
The lieutenant nods politely. Wait, who's Sweetie?
You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin.
C'est pas vraiment ce que ce qu'il a vu dans le miroir.
But dear, you're not for me. I'm too old and too married besides.
In another time and place, she might have flirted back, but that ship sailed long ago.
You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew.
Engagez-la.
Hire her on the spot.
Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions. I know they're thinking about it anyway.
There is no bitterness in her voice. She accepted the curiosity her condition inspires a long time ago.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad.
She won't judge you, no matter what you say.
You know where we are, right? That's right. And where is the Whirling in Rags cafeteria itself located? We're in the city of Revachol, dear. Yes, and Revachol?
Je sais pas.
How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days.
Je me dis que ça, je devrais me mettre là parce que je pense pas qu'il y ait grand chose de ce côté-là en fait. Voilà.
Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
Non.
There. The year is 51, and spring has only just started. I'm sure there are better days ahead.
The lieutenant studies you, rubbing his chin. I'm beginning to suspect that you might indeed be completely adrift in this reality, thinks the lieutenant. How can it be that bad? Never.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
Une démocratie peut-être. J'aimerais penser que c'est la dictature du prolétariat. Tu me dis que c'est pas le cas. Une dirigeance de féroces guerriers qui traversent les plaines sur la filiale destrier. Non. Des machines qui exécutent des calculs pour déterminer quels sont les marchés les plus libres nous gouvernent. Les radios sont utilisées pour contrôler les esprits des gens. Oui, c'est le régime policier. Le concours de Zob. D'accord. Est-ce qu'on a des infos ou quelque chose
Oh, sweetie. It's really not. There used to be people who thought that way. Other people who wanted those things, but they all went extinct. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have almost no government of our own, and certainly no dictatorship of the proletariat.
But they still have cops.
Oh dear, this is troubling. You really ought to know that, being one yourself. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago. It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better.
I'm just a poor woman, she thinks. What do I know of these things? And how can I help you?
You didn't do too well, dear. It does look like you're having trouble remembering
C'est ce que j'arrête pas de dire depuis le début.
history and places. Remembering reality, in a word. It's very odd.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much.
She means this sincerely. Worrying won't do you any good.
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
No. I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez. Whatever do you mean? Sequence killers? Oh my. But I think you already have a partner, sweetie.
Bah, on a qu'à le changer.
A partner who'll need you to help him get a corpse down from a tree. I can assure you with absolute certainty.
Je vais le faire chier avec ça, jusqu'au bout.
Now, gentlemen, no need to squabble. I wouldn't be of much use to you anyway, sweetie. Thank you, but Martinez isn't the most wheelchair-accessible place, you see. I'd slow you down.
Là, je te porte sur mon dos.
Perhaps another time.
Bon, on peut toujours essayer.
Oh, sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your financial troubles. When do you get your next paycheck?
If
J'en
she
sais rien.
could, this woman would feed and clothe you and every other sad, lost person on this earth.
Je vais soutirer de l'argent à une vieille en fauteuil roulant.
If you shed a single manly tear.
Sweetie, I only have a few cents on me, but I
Oh
could give you this
non,
to pawn. Just to tide you over.
je vais pas faire ça.
Wonderful. He has a pin.
The pin is round and slightly tarnished. 3 sailboats in bas relief with the sun hovering over the water behind them. A chipped green banner at the bottom reads, San Baptiste, Summer 31, Dinghy Races.
Cross the plaza and follow the road along the coast. Down by the water, there'll be a shack nestled against an old stone facade. That's the pawn shop. An old friend of my husband's goes there often. He says the owner is quite helpful.
On n'a pas le choix de dire non. Bon.
Oh, it's not an ancient family heirloom or anything, but I suppose it would be nice to get it back.
Il faudra penser à lui redonner quand on aura de l'argent, quoi.
Of course, dear. Good luck with your case.
Tellement de choses à faire. Sur le panneau, il décrit la police, d'accord. Ouais, le gérant est pas... Ça c'est con. Il est pas sensible à... Ah oui, c'est parce que je suis super zoomé. Ah, c'est là le gros trou dans le mur?
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with? We don't see a lot of police around here, that's all. Of course. What can I help you with? Of course. Where to? There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements. Not a lot, really. The harbor gates. Some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store, too. Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Just coast. There's a little fishing village there, and a fish market. But that got closed down ages ago. It's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are some islands in the bay, but they're hard to reach. Oh, that's right there, in the yard.
She's relieved someone has come for Rick, finally.
What do you mean? Yes, sir. District of Martinez. This intersection is called Roundabout North.
He knows where we are. He just wants directions.
No problem. Excuse me?
She's uncomfortable. Maybe you should drop this line of questioning.
Oh, well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here. Okay. Me? I am just a gardener. I am working. I have a greenhouse in the yard there. I've been trying to get some work done.
There's discomfort. She stops mid-sentence.
Well, as you already know, there's a corpse
Ah oui, d'accord.
hanging from a tree.
Effectivement, c'est normal qu'elle ait pas envie d'y
It smells
travailler.
pretty bad. So I have to take breaks.
Don't worry, miss. We are here to clean it up. You can get to work soon.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. My head is about to explode from all the salts I've had to inhale. Of course. I won't hold you back.
Her gloves. You get the feeling that you need them. You have a dead body to deal with after all.
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
Maintenant, j'ai les gants. Je peux les mettre? Non, tu ramasses pas les bouteilles que tu trouves dans les poubelles. Couille de Saint-Guylaine Lubé. Ah, je peux peut-être remonter jusqu'à chez moi en partant avec ça là. Lettre R est ornée d'une couronne. Sur le ruban du dessous, il est écrit A light above descending.
Kuno's got this!
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it. He's almost exquisite in his ugliness, like a gremlin.
C'est pas très gentil ça.
Oh yeah, nappa gumpy, Kuno!
Can't talk, pig! Shit's coming up strong! Throwing rocks!
Shit coming up strong. That sounds good. Joyous. You should hang out with this kid and see what that juicy shit is all about. I mean drugs. The kid's on drugs.
Yeah, Kuno, ride the lightning, Kuno!
Kuno's riding at sea.
The rake, Kuno! You should throw the rake at him, Kuno!
The fuck does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener. The fuck are you talking about?
He's calling us Kuno! He says we're fucking each other!
Non, j'aimerais solliciter frères et sœurs.
We
fait rien.
shouldn't do anything. I don't tempt such forces. You will see.
Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh? Show me what you got. Shitload, pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno! Pig's choking! He's totally choking!
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not, I would ask them who he is, how he got there, and the usual.
You have no idea what the usual is. Just ask whatever comes to mind.
Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for target practice. Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down. You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional. I don't know. Some fucking Mesk or I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City.
Oui, oui, d'accord. T'étais avec Johnny Silverhand.
Kuno gives this info out on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Kuno didn't smoke the gimp, if that's what you meant. Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty fucking suspicious to Kuno.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty Kuno.
You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Get lost,
Right, pig? This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. Fuck do you want with it? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno's Kuno, pig? The fuck are you calling a third person? Kuno's the fucking first person?
He looks slightly confused, but proud he came up with that retort. But right as he's getting distracted, you hear a malevolent hiss from behind the fence.
watch out, Kuno, he's trying to fiddle you. He's gonna put his hands on you. Help, Pig's got Kuno. Help, rape.
Help! He's got the Kuno, help! Help! He's digging his dick out!
Escalate, Kuno. His dick is out. You're afraid.
Pigs in here, Kuno! Somebody, please!
Non. C'est une mauvaise idée de le frapper.
Look. I know you wanted to hit me. You got that I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up look that Kuno's dad gets. The murder look. The rage look. I can. Kuno can smell that violent shit. I know what you were thinking. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna shut his shit down. You know what? You should have hit the Kuno, because now...
Mais il peut rien faire l'autre à côté là. Il me laisse m'emmerder.
Nothing. You're a joke to Kuno. Kuno laughs at you. King Kuno!
The whole charade was about establishing dominance over you. You backing up means he's succeeded.
Kuno turned you into his prison, bitch. You're gonna be in this shit with Kuno.
No, you're not. We can just leave.
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever.
Okay. Kuno is kind to his bitch. Ask your questions, but remember, this changes shit.
Click, 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 click.
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Fuck no! What are you? Fucking mentally handicapped?
Kuno, they've almost made you a snitch now.
Ease off, see? Kuno always takes the bullet over the hammer. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Bon, bah, c'est pas avec lui que ça va marcher. Tiens, pas le parler à elle. Attends, il y a des...
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags. There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still. Maybe you're prioritizing...
Ah, c'est la belle Arthur qui nous parle.
Trash, food waste from the cafeteria. They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evidence too. What do you mean, feel? Mm-hmm. We could try using a pry bar. There's one in my motor carriage, or...
Pas où? Le pied de biche, le pied de biche. Non, bah non, faut aller parler au gérant.
Or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one.
Comme de toute façon, je suis nul en force et en tout ce qui est... Ouais. Peut-être éviter.
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my shit out, I think. Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in. I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
I come from the woods, good Davidu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I've seen.
Don't be traumatizing her. Get the fuck out of here.
Et... D'accord, donc faut essayer de demander au gamin d'aller le décrocher.
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth. You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from within.
Vomir sur la scène de crime, est-ce que c'est une bonne idée? On peut toujours essayer, hein, sur un coup de chance. Blark.
Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your body curls and pushes it out, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet, and your throat stings from the stomach acid.
Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. If you can handle the headache, some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor. I can't handle the headache.
It's more likely he can handle the smell, unlike you.
Sure you do. You just threw up a lot.
Bon, d'accord.
That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell. If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fridge store nearby. Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow. Cock's gonna blow, Kuno.
On peut pas y aller.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material Eternite. Because it's nice and orderly, well-laid pallets, easy on the eyes. No, there's more to this. You get this strange feeling. Hard to say. It's gone now. Feelings pass, you see. Especially, it's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack.
À mon avis, il y a moyen de passer, hein. Donc, pourquoi ils font le tour? Peut-être passer par là. Ah oui, il y a une porte. Ah non, ça c'est le toit. Il faut qu'on parle à la jardinière pour l'ammoniaque et au patron de café pour les clés de la benne à ordures.
Hello again, officer. How are things? Sure, I'm done with them. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache.
Il s'agit d'une inspection préliminaire. C'est pour vous approcher de ton contrôle. Votre envie de vomir. Ok. Merci. Ah, il y a un type qui dort là. T'es nouveau toi, non? Bouteille de rhum renversée. Nana, qu'est-ce que tu fais? Un homme dort à tête sur la table, il porte des bottes recouvertes de boue, une salopette défaite. Sur l'arrière de sa chemise, vous lisez White Pines, entouré d'un logo avec un arbre.
On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine.
Mais fais la bise au micro, t'as raison.
No idea. Looks like he works for Wild Pines, the logistics company who owns and operates the harbor. Possibly because there's a strike going on in the harbor. There's not much to do aside from drinking and sleeping.
Tu sens grabuge en parlant à un garde. On peut essayer.
You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens. This man could probably sleep soundly in a ship's engine room. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
Oui. Ce sera mieux que l'ammoniac.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? Oh, excuse me. Do you have something better to do than lust for sweet syrupy rum and lemonade? With a twist of lemon? Maybe lime. Maybe who cares? Just rum.
Nana, t'es chiante. Peut-être lécher la tâche avant de partir. Oui, après ça va pas paraître bizarre. On va arrêter de boire. Nana, t'es pénible. T'es pénibilise. File. J'ai une conne chat.
Can I help you?
Oui,
Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags.
mais est-ce que t'as les clés?
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Prod at him and find out.
Callous? What are you? Kras Mazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol keep their trash locked. The Whirling in Rags is not special in that regard.
Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism. He killed himself.
No one was implying you were, officer. Where were we?
What do you need them for?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
touché un truc pour le moral, je sais pas ce que c'est.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid with a well-oiled crack. The lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. There is, but you won't like it. Sweat forms on your brow. Your hand is still on the lid. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. And turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer. Guitar-marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too, a white belt. The loops appear stretched, but the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
This
Bon
is a
appétit.
military type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that...
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force. Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash, the lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
The fuck's he on about, kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See?
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Officer, is that your paperwork? It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
Ça, j'en sais rien.
Boring. Try dangerous. You should do a thorough inventory of that. Be sure some has not fallen into the hands of the RCM's enemies, organized crime or worse. Official notes sometimes contain informants' names, even undercover operatives. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron, only in its social sensibility. The container sounds a muffled gong.
C'est comment les vêtements sont retrouvés là, et demander à la carte. Allez, dans votre inventaire, interagissez avec le registre allumé pour lui en donner un. Non, 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 c'est pas ce que je voulais faire.
That's one thing off the list. I think
Je voulais faire ça.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic.
Il a fait tomber dans les toilettes, c'est ça?
It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Pas y toucher, ça fait joli.
Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better. An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. A bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand. It's a sorry sight. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible. Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. That's okay. We all do, sooner or later.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor, even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out. Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large-caliber bullets on an ammo belt. It's downright incriminating. He has little choice but to give you one, although he really does not want to. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
Bah, t'en as 2, c'est bon, hein.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen
En
in a
achèterai un
fresh,
autre
freehand, uncannily
quand je
similar
serai payé.
to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
No, actually. Any ideas?
C'est trop le miroir que vivent les furies. Où est-ce que j'ai vu ça?
Furies. Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that it refers to. And also, could you make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good normal name.
Yes, you know what that normal name is, but it's so plain. Anything else, please.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural. Why, yes, your precinct number is 41. Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials. That is improbable. It takes about half an hour to piece one together using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start? This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class." People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lettrers have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the Next World mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown. The case files do not show you finding the author of the design. The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options. A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us. Did anyone ask you what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done?
Le truc, c'est que ça fait passer du temps, donc j'aurai ça plus tard.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard. In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs. These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. What delicious power hid within this pathetic mess. You feel better. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM. Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. An aluminium block runs the width of the board. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property. It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Il y a peut-être
How
mon
many
nom
years
dedans.
you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
Donc sa voiture là-bas, elle pourra nous lire le truc.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight. Is not what you end up doing. You squeeze the plastic to slide it open, but nothing happens. Then you bend it some, then crack it. The goddamn thing is stuck. The ledger quivers in your hand. As it shakes, the pages rustle. This pathetic mess, the acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint
Non,
air
j'ai pas
of
de bol.
spoiled meat. The stuff of death itself. And then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much. Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage? So again, you dug it out of the trash. Why? It wasn't going to offend anyone there.
C'est le stylo, l'ampoule d'ammoniac, le mouchoir du lieutenant. Ok. Alors. Il y a les filigranes, ouais. Alors déjà... Ah, je peux améliorer des trucs. Non, c'est ça? Est-ce que je peux choisir? Oui. Ok. Ensuite. Non, c'est pas... Mais c'est pas ça que je veux faire. Attends. Je vais faire échappe. Alors.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse.
Pourquoi je peux pas utiliser? Comme il s'agit d'un objet de quête, il n'est pas nécessaire de s'en équiper pour l'utiliser. Il suffit de le posséder dans l'inventaire. D'accord. Donc pour l'instant, on ne va pas l'utiliser.
Fuck does Kuno care? Yeah, like a fucking volcano. Yeah. Fucking pathetic.
You're lucky you didn't die there.
Yeah. Kuno's got some advice for you. What are you? Like 80, right? Maybe you should stop embarrassing yourself in front of a fucking kid.
Perhaps you could compress this negative energy and turn it into some sort of a Kuno-fied non-vomiter. That's right. Turn your weaknesses into conceptual strengths. Try it again now.
Est-ce que je peux réessayer? Je vais être tenté.
What's going on is an ungovernable youth on your crime scene, throwing around incendiary language, trying to push your... Like you don't have enough on your plate. You feel a sudden surge of self-pity coming on.
Take the pain, fucko. Take the bad.
Smelling weakness. She loves it.
You heard that, see? Porco wants to talk about how he can't hack this shit. Porco wants to move in with Kuno.
Don't let him move in with us, Kuno.
You have no idea what to say now. You're just going to have to try to change the subject.
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it? Look at that fucking shit! You're trying to get Kuno killed! Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking acrobat.
The lieutenant takes a quick note in his notebook.
It's a trap, Kuno. Don't climb it, Kuno.
That's just some shit roofing gimps left behind, lazy dinks.
There it is. That strange feeling again. As if there was more than meets the eye about that pile of roofing material.
Je sais pas, les mecs qui ont refait que toi, est-ce que ces mecs étaient gauchers? Quelle idée!
Inner eye! Fuck are you talking about? Ask me a normal question, pig.
They're trying to make you feel stupid, Kuno.
You glance again at the roofing material in front of the shack. Yes, you should go back there.
Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there. Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno can take it. Shit's nothing to Kuno. Look it up in the library. Kuno's not a fucking dictionary. Fucking small brain. Kuno means the gardener, alright? Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
Yeah, her.
Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno. Listen, listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just listen. Kuno saw what you did there, dumpster diving. Sad shit. Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real. Pig, this These are found modulars, liquid fit, performance crotch, urban survival shit. Made in me rover by scientists, pants scientists.
Mais bien sûr.
Believe it, you need this shit.
These could drastically improve your chances of survival in the urban wilderness. Coach Physical Instrument endorses these pants. They are tartan ready. They will also make you into an idiot.
Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around, except for that up there. Now you want performance gear or not, Grandpa?
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so," any louder.
Whatever. Kuno was trying to help you, but you're too fat for fouling anyway, pig. The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again? Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you pigs are after the mug fucker, 'cause he's the clothes fucker?
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator. Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find out, maybe you can...
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno. They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching. Get away from my Kuno.
Yeah, get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and out of Kuno's face. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. The fuck about it?
Non, il a rien
You're
d'intéressant.
testing Kuno's...
Get lost.
Kuno doesn't...
Ok, bon. Alors. Qui a jeté les vêtements? Il se trouvait dans la benne à ordures dans la cour. Il était plié avec soin qu'ils a mis là. Pourquoi seul le personnel de Warning est censé avoir la clé? On va pas aller à Gart. Lire les filigranes aussi, tant qu'on passe à côté de la voiture. Il y a des trucs débloqués dans les intériorisations. Ah, je sais pas. Non. Mais ça, je pense qu'il faut... On doit pouvoir suivre le chemin jusque chez nous, non pas. On doit pouvoir sortir de la ville, là. Ah, il y a un truc là.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. An off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead. You ring the doorbell, but no one answers. What an ominous name for a hair salon. Doesn't bode well for anyone's hair. All you hear is static, but no one answers the call. You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens. You wait for a minute or two, but all you get from the call box is silence. No one answers the call. Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore. You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if someone has picked up the receiver but isn't saying anything.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order?
She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder. A receiver must not be working properly.
My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
No, something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you?
Michelle, just please.
C'est bizarre.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care. Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally meet again.
She sounds like she's about to cry. She doesn't answer. Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay. Another seagull passes by. It's getting cold standing here, staring at the silent call box.
I don't know what happened either. We should probably stop playing with this thing.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box read. Whatever she says, it can't hurt you. You're a different person now. Stronger, healthier, and... Alright, maybe not healthier, but it's a bonus that you've drunk so hard you can't remember any of your past relationships. Oblivion's the ace in your corner. There's a light buzz as you press the doorbell, waiting for her to answer the call. It's cold outside, and you can hear the wind blowing into the speaker.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order? My God.
Here come the bad vibes again. Relax. Distance yourself from it.
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice again.
Wait, is she...
C'est sûr, c'est un enregistrement.
Michelle, just please. Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
The voice from the intercom doesn't answer, but you can hear her breathing. Wind blows into your microphone again, crackling.
Ever since I came to work here, it's been
Ah,
different.
elle dit exactement la même chose.
As if my mind's been wiped clean. It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget about you.
And then it hits you. She tries again not to cry, and still doesn't succeed completely. Her quiet sobs sound old and distant, as if her voice is being played off a wax cylinder. Real or not, your mirror neurons react. It feels painful to be listening to this. Her sound melts into the static from a long-distance phone call. From time to time, you can hear people talking in the distance, but can't make out any words. This is where you hung up the call the last time, but the recording is still going. A phone rings in the office with an old-fashioned chime, and someone walks by in a pair of heels. The static is like a warm blanket wrapped around the sounds. No one replies, but the static grows stronger like rainfall. Then a female voice speaks out, completely different from the one before. Glorious and total somehow, crawling inside your head. Her words are too cold to comprehend. She smells of sodium lights and rain streaks on car windows. Eyes like pilot lights watch your shape in dark hallways, guttering.
So... it was a recording trapped in the circuitry from some ancient tenant. This sometimes happens. Shall we conclude here? We have other mysteries to solve. I don't have time to explain it to you right now. Maybe sometime later. Don't take this the wrong way, but during our short stint working together, something weird is almost always happening to you.
That is true. Silence. No one's home at Fortress Accident. Silence. No one answers the doorbell. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you. Silence. No one answers your call. This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it.
This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
Pas rentrer, il me faut une clé ou que quelqu'un nous ouvre. Faut parler. Oh, proprio.
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Vous aurez peut-être pas, vous êtes peut-être somnambule, vous en êtes un second. Est-ce que quelqu'un parmi vous, cet employé, aurait pu les poser là? Qui va te passer les clés de la belle?
Trash collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself down the road.
Qui d'autre a un accès autorisé? Trouvez cette personne et vous découvrirez qui a trafiqué la scène de crime. Ça prendra peut-être un peu de temps.
Thank you anyway.
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene. I think fugue states are more your forte, officer. Yes? What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction. They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time.
He hates the union, but grudgingly recognizes its power over him. So he's directing his frustration at you instead. Retaliate.
I don't. I'm simply providing a service, or really facilitating the offering of services to paying customers, and it doesn't matter. I don't have to explain myself to you.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here tomorrow.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
On dit que les syndicats rebelles se ressemblent aux messes de Whirling. Ils sont pas là aujourd'hui, mais finiront par pointer le bout de leur nez. Ok, lire les filigranes.
Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork is covered in blue and white livery, bearing the number 57. This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious carriage. The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canela comes to life with a whiny growl. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights. A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry.
Ah, Martinez. Let me see. Right here. No, it does not.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. The first row has 18 dots. Not bad for what? You don't even know what it means yet. The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some. There are so many, it's hard to count. More than 150, at least. Maybe even 200. The last row has 3 perforations. That's it.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth? Yes, that does seem quite likely. Your youth coincided with some heady days for Revachol. But let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see.
On dirait une Pokéball sur son uniforme.
Wow, more than 200. It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. Call it what you want. You are a valuable member of your precinct. Now, let's look at the last row. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there. For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock Quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way.
What's it feel like to kill a man, Mr. McCoy? A young woman asked the man across the desk from her. Honestly, babe, says John McCoy, crossing his ankles over said desk. I don't feel anything anymore. It's just like brushing my teeth. I do it once or twice a week and don't really think about it. There's no trace of guilt in his voice.
Qui me championnerait sur Pokémon?
There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for. Yes.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies. Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now. Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab. The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
Ça fait partie des trucs terminés. Ok. Du coup, on reconstitue notre profil au fur et à mesure.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
This is the Kupris Kinema, my motor carriage. You can use the toolbox and the radio if you'd like.
Motor carriage, motor carriage. Something bad with a motor carriage. A dark lump rises in your throat. Nothing, nothing. It's probably nothing. Forget I brought it up. Please proceed with the carefree lollygagging.
The Kupris Motorcar does provide most of our patrol vehicles, yes. Yes, sorry about that. The Kupris Kinema does have a rather distinctive engine sound.
He says it with very badly concealed pride. In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio, the frequency tableau lights up, and a green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something. The soft purr of electrical kittens, radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st Precinct here. I'm putting him on.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a second, officer.
Vous met en attente de grésillement crépite. Doucement comme un feu de camp, après quelques instants, vous entendez un vieil homme vous saluer dans la radio, sa voix rocailleuse et étrangement familière.
10-2, 10-5, this is 41st, come in, over.
Oh là, cet accent français.
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle, smoking, with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest. In front of him is a box-shaped apparatus with an array of wires and antennas. The radio switchboard. The man uses relay code. You've got this. You're a cop, and cops know relay code.
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over.
Il fait aucun effort.
10-18, state your message, sir. 10-4, your badge should have most of your personal details. Look over that. Over. 10-9, over. 10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation.
A very serious situation.
Is it him? What does he want? Says he lost his badge and needs to report it. He what? He lost his badge? Who lost his badge? Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
Dick Mullen, c'est bon nom.
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
He says this has probably happened to other policemen before him and laughs sarcastically.
Oh god damn it. Is he fucking kidding? The whole station's gonna be dicked for this.
Satellite Officer Vikmar is wondering if you might be joking and adds that this tarnishes the reputation of the entire station. Over.
Mullen dicked us.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen lost his badge.
What's going on?
Super Cop here lost his badge.
He lost his what now? His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
He asks you to please stop saying he lost his badge.
Why? Did he find it?
Sergeant Orson was wondering if you found your badge yet. Over.
You don't have a comeback. Sorry. It's hard to think like this.
He's not replying. Looks like he's still looking for it. 10-9.
Oh, cette bande de fumier.
Over.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun, too.
Oops.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun too.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you? Okay, it's gone. Your gun is most definitely gone.
Don't sweat it, brother.
Ah, la cravate, le retour de la cravate.
To have fun? We can still have fun. It's not all over.
10-9, coming officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
Even before you can get the words out, everything gets scrambled in your brain.
He says he didn't lose his gun. Or his fun, whatever that means.
Ask him to describe it. His gun, not his fun.
Raccroche.
Satellite Officer McLean requests a description of your weapon. Over.
Oh, request a description, huh? We'll give him one. Describe the plasma gun.
It's a single-shot kill A9. An armistice, to be precise.
Says it's a kill 9mm armistice.
Armistice? What, is he a fucking... Clearly he doesn't have his Villiers anymore.
Oops.
Dear God, he lost his gun? Oh my, I can't.
Oh, la réputation que ça me fait.
This isn't really a laughing matter.
Mac can face a giant of cocoa noodle by himself, but Disco here made him piss his pants.
Oh, I can't. Fuck. He lost his... Ask him if he still got his wiener. Oh, man.
I'm not going to.
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson here is wondering if you are still in possession of your genitalia. Over. That's a negative. Not going to say that.
What's he saying? Share with the class.
He said he sodomized your mother.
The prick ate Mama's vanilla waffles at the captain's birthday party. Some nerve he's got.
Sure her vanilla waffles were the only thing he ate?
Shut up, Chester. This isn't funny.
Allez, bim,
This
prends-toi
is
dans
my
les dents.
mom we're talking about. Tell him to apologize right now.
Sergeant Orson requests that you apologize for the claims that you made about his mother. Over. He says he's sorry and didn't mean nothing by it.
Okay. Tell him.
Tell him to find his goddamn badge and gun. That's the only thing that matters here. Satellite officer. Then for affirmative. Officer is in pursuit of his firearm.
Oh, God,
Officer, do you need further assistance? Over. 10-4, I hear you. I don't have the authority to grant your request, but... What does he want now? He's asking for money. Is he fucking kidding? I don't think he is. Don't give that asshole anything. He's just gonna drink it all. Right. That's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over. He says it's important to the case. He isn't getting
Il en peut plus, lui.
Request denied, sir. Over. Anything else, sir? Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
18 kilometers to the south, in the 41st Precinct's relay booth, a small crowd has gathered around Communication Officer Jules Oldboy Pidier, around a dozen cops. The small room is filled with cigarette smoke, abuzz with laughter, when Officer Judith Minot enters. Her left arm is in bandages, and her hair trimmed short.
What is going on here? Did something happen?
What happened is my partner made contact. It's not good. He's lost his badge and his sidearm. He seemed confused, delirious even.
Mac, the torso Torson, is finger-fucking his fist, laughing hoarsely and apparently telling some dirty story to his partner, Chester McLean, near the entrance.
Yeah, Mullen was fucked, alright. Sounded fucking drunk to me.
Yeah, Mac's right. This was some gnarly shit there. I mean, before he started begging for money, it was...
Enough! None of this is funny. It's fucking sad. That's what it is. He's a cop. He's one of us, goddamn this.
We must help him.
Yeah? How do you fucking plan to do that, huh? Get him off the drink? Go jogging with him in the morning and get him on carrot juice? He's a lost man.
I just know we can't give up on him when he's at his weakest. He wouldn't.
Mac, man the door. You know what he told me? I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. Those were his words. This shit does not leave this room. Not a word of this to the captain. Or anyone else. We'll give him a couple of days to pull his shit together.
I guess I can hold off the report for a few days.
Good. Okay, everybody. Nothing but a prank call here. We all got our laughs. Now get back to work.
Far north, on the other side of the motorway, the officer quietly hunches with his hand in the motor carriage. A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tools inside are neatly organized.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools, like some men are.
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work is work. The handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap, go the cutters in your hand. The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, heavier than you'd think. Useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. It's robust, weatherproof, and well-made. Police issue, blue. Lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its hook. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch labeled heat.
Now, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they are mesmerizing. They're also fragile. I'm not going to turn it on for you again.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005 1944 298.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Give it a minute. She might be busy at the moment. Takes a bit to get to the phone.
Just wait. Relax.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
You can hear resentment in her tone. She's not thrilled to be talking to you again.
You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir. Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone. You know whom?
No.
You think you hear a sliver of accusation in her words.
I really don't want to talk about this. Let's just forget about this, okay? Maybe, I don't know.
Il s'est peut-être montré un peu lourd.
I just know I have to take some time off right now. No, not me. What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the union already knew about the courts. No one calls the police. The union would get angry. You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Garbage.
Legally, no. In reality, yes. Martinez is de facto policed by the dock workers' union.
Words are not necessary to feel the lieutenant's discontent for the situation.
I didn't want to get in trouble with the others.
Push her further. Show her the error of her ways. No, don't push her. It sounds as if she's about to cry.
The other people who live around here. Local people, I didn't want trouble.
Her voice is resigned and weak.
You don't live here. You don't understand. Squealing is frowned upon here. Everything is dealt with, well, by the union, internally. Please, I just didn't want any trouble. You do? Oh. What else can I do for you? No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires. don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the Union's phone, or the one on the coast.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Yeah, go on. Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law.
This exact conversation has happened before. Establishing authority before this young girl seems to have been important to you in the past. Don't go there again.
Oh, no, I haven't, sorry.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours?
Pas l'uniforme.
He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from not knowing where your uniform is.
Bah peut-être que j'ai pas besoin d'uniforme.
There are officers who wear the signature Perseus black uniforms to the highest ranks in the RCM and end up buried in them as well. Others do it more casually. Looks like you're one of them.
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and... You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
I remember this. You were screaming things like, "My brains are all over the wall," painting them red. I won't be seeing it, 'cause these are my brains. I can't see without my brains. Very nice visuals there. Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot right next to him. Spat some in his food. I don't think he touched it after. There is silence on the other end of the line.
Me neither. No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and
Donc j'avais de
guns can't
l'argent.
buy money, but money can always buy guns. It almost looked like you pawned it, but believe me, I did not ask. Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on, the disco things.
Somewhere in a dank rental apartment, two police officers stand in the dark. Trash and liquor bottles cover the floor. Things are not good. One of the men, trying not to slip on old newspapers, makes his way to the window and pulls the curtains apart. Roaches scatter as the light comes in. God damn. Officer Michelle Elfboy Williams speaks to himself. His partner, Sundance Fisher, looks at the patrol uniform he's wearing, then at an identical suit frame on the wall. It's blue and covered in dust. Let's get the fuck out of here. He turns to Williams. He hasn't been here in days.
Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet,
Donc c'est
sir,
bien tombé dans les toilettes.
clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it. I am sorry about that. Anything else, Detective? I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her at the Whirling in Rags when she was still working there.
I'm not mad, it's just... You were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skua thing happened. Just made me want to quit. The stuffed bird, the great skua. You threw it against the wall.
Oh, c'est moi qui l'ai cassé.
Fuck that bird, and laughing like a maniac. I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there. It was a pretty bird, there since I started working in Whirling. I really liked her. We call her Scotty.
There's genuine sadness in her voice.
Yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've ever seen. And I have seen so many assholes in this place. I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for 2 months. But you... well, you were worse than all of them. Honestly, you were getting borderline aggressive. Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. No more. I hate it now. We Go On by the O.O. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody. To hell with that song. Then there was your room. Your project. An experiment to see how bad it can get in there. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I had no idea what you meant, and I don't want to know. And then you screamed something about being the most boring person alive and how everyone leaves you because you're just so boring. And then I had to deal with your toilet, the one you clogged with police documents, causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen.
L'enfer.
I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke, threatening to kill yourself. No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst. God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened. All sorts of things. From disco, rock too. So much disco and rock. Which one would that be? Sad? I think the one you mean is the smallest church in Saint-Saëns. Butchered that right up.
Interesting. You still have to find it, however. You hear a sigh of relief on the other end of the radio. Wordless, the call breaks. Then, the already familiar voice.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
Yeah. No.
57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox.
Alors, voyons voir. Chercher notre insigne, l'arme, payer les dégâts. Casser la pendaison, des mesures qu'il s'agit, continuer un chemin, de l'absence de providente, ok. Donc j'ai un point de talent. Un peu plus de perception, ça peut pas faire de mal. Et là du coup, qu'est-ce que j'ai? Outils. On passe un pied de biche. Ok. Bon. Il y avait des tas de trucs à voir. De l'autre côté là. Le plus athlétique, super. Hop. Je peux plus lire. Ce qu'il y avait.
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
Deuxième goal, il faut que diviser Revachol. Voilà pourquoi tout le monde a autant de mal à s'extirper des lames de
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Oh, come on, man. I just said, welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
Alors ça, cet accent-là, à mon avis, c'est plutôt un non-français qui essaye de faire semblant de parler français en appuyant sur les E.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCN. It's actually my job to make sure you behave.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
You two make a cute couple. You know that?
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Whatever you say, officers. Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. Haven't seen anything that funny in a while. God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine. It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So,
je l'aime bien, lui.
we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that. Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? An unfortunate downturn, maybe? Huh? When members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority, they stop competing for resources. The problem? The damn Kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other introduced species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory. It's what the Kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any motetos or leader? No. Dominating culture is how they plan to win. They say so themselves. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring.
Ouais, ça va, hein. Ça va, avec un an de plus.
Don't push your luck, Runt.
Oui. On dirait une faute de frappe. J'ai rien.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Oh, that's the tear machine. It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever, and put it in the machine, then it gives you money. You need a bag, I guess. We used to have some, but we gave them all out, so feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some out there, somewhere.
Ok, d'accord. Bah, du coup, ça va me permettre de gagner de l'argent pour rembourser le patron du bar, là. Je me suis amusée à faire ça. Au départ, je voulais essayer d'animer une version animée, justement, une version du dessin animé, mais le logiciel comprenait pas ce que je voulais faire, donc ça donnait pas bien. Rory!
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
What's that magazine she's reading?
Qu'est-ce que tu fais là-haut, là, toi?
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got, like, famous people in it. It's not for sale.
She pops her raspberry-flavored bubblegum and nods. The lieutenant frowns at you before turning to the clerk with an apologetic half-smile.
Vidéo d'Angel, je sais pas.
I don't know. Frit? I think they think that the extra T makes it funkier. It doesn't.
The story goes that normal Fritta, with 2 T's, a men's workwear shop in Vredefort, was already taken. So when Fritta Retail Inc. grew into a multinational corporation, they had to add an extra letter to avoid trademark infringement.
Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but...
Bah, en même temps, tu passes ton temps à lire des magazines, je pense que tu peux avoir le temps de parler 30 secondes.
I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so... Not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really... long. Uh-huh.
Mais oui, on est à 2 jours, 2 jours d'écart, nos anniversaires.
Reality? You mean, what reality? Economic reality, or...?
She is like a student unexpectedly called upon by a teacher. Can she answer the classroom question?
I don't really know anything. I mean, I'm 15.
Ah, d'accord. En 2 jours, on oublie toutes les années. Ouais.
Yeah, that's why I'm working my arse off in Frit. So I guess, like, that's economic. I don't know. What about it? When ordinary people take over the government and, demand democracy? Yeah, it happened like 50 years ago or so. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. At history, I mean.
Vidéo collégiale, oui.
Our government? Or do you mean something else? Sorry, I really need to finish this article. Cool.
Bon, bah, on n'apprendra rien de plus.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the
Bonne nuit, Lily.
Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo. Their logo is the bloodless rose, pure white, untouched by harm.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma. St. Baptiste, you know, the pharmaceuticals company. St. Baptiste Pharmaceuticals, the one that sells meds out of St. Baptiste. That one, there.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company, derives its name from Saint Baptiste, the city. Itself so named because that's what it is. A rare case where that really is the full etymological history, as far as almost anyone knows, at least. A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles line the shop wall, inviting you closer. There, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, alcohol.
Bon, il faut que je trouve un sac pour ramasser des bouteilles pour les revendre là pour gagner de l'argent. Demandez de l'argent aux gens et faites attention à vos dépenses. Ben oui, mais bon, personne ne me donne de l'argent. Mais ça, inspecter le corps, pourquoi il a pas fait tout à l'heure? Il a pas fait parce qu'il a vomi dedans?
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. Cop habit. You look at everything. This isn't case-related, you think. Hard to say. Your vision is blurred and you're having difficulty concentrating thanks to your relentless hangover. No, these tracks are not interesting at all. Let the street sweeper just sweep them away. There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your guts. You manage to keep it in once. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
Ça marche vraiment pas, hein.
Nor does the wind right now.
The weight is reassuring, like a crenel on solid fortification. Pat, pat, pat.
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder. I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Every Monday is cadaver day. Throw up, investigate. Throw up, initial autopsy. Throw up, bag it. Then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there if you didn't bag the thing tight enough. I think I've lost my sense of smell. Not being hungover helps too. That's probably a good idea. Clear our heads. But before we can do that, you need to get your shit together. We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now. Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
Ah, d'accord. Donc j'accomplis des trucs qui me permettent de faire ça. Et ça remplit la barre. Une fois que ça sera rempli, j'aurai débloqué un truc. Donc je peux en faire plusieurs en même temps. On va savoir comment.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails, all over the yard. Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear?
Noted.
What do you think you are? A super detective? You're hungover. These are just dents in the mud. No pattern emerges for the time being.
Ouais, il faut que j'attende d'être sobre et de plus avoir la gueule de bois pour pouvoir faire ces trucs-là. Donc il faudrait attendre le lendemain. Équiper et terminer la réflexion compresseur volumétrique de merde. D'accord. Y'a rien que je puisse faire avec ça?
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
Attends, mais on va s'arrêter là parce qu'il est minuit passé. On se laisse emporter hein, d'un truc à l'autre là. L'air de rien. Mais effectivement, en fonction de ce que tu choisis au départ, tu dois avoir des réponses différentes, des choix différents, enfin en tout cas des réussites ou des échecs différents, et du coup ça doit permettre de faire d'autres choses. Mais ouais, non, il est bien. Hein. Bon, bah sur ce, on va s'arrêter là. Ouais, d'autres approches, c'est ça. Genre secouer un peu le gamin, et puis pour qu'il nous parle, ou ce genre de choses. Ah bah écoute, merci. Et puis du coup, rendez-vous samedi prochain, hein, parce que je serai là. Pour... eh bien on fera du Ghost of a Tale et puis Cyberpunk. Voilà. Sur ce, bonne soirée. Et puis donc à samedi prochain. Ciao.